Hello, my name is DatED, and welcome to the Super Mario 3D Mix Direct. And today, we're going to be doing an overview of the game and helping you to get to know the basics, the gameplay, and much, much more. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The Mushroom Kingdom, a beautiful sight to see with lush gardens, beautiful spaces, flowers everywhere, and much, much more. Princess Peach and company are getting prepared for a special celebration tomorrow morning. It's Mario and Luigi's birthday. Mario doesn't know about it since he slept all day downstairs. Now, as for Luigi, we're not sure. Everyone was taking a break from working for a bit when...
Attention everybody! There have been reports of a severe storm that plans on hitting the Mushroom Kingdom the rest of the day and overnight. We aren't sure what kind of storm it is, but everyone is advised to stay inside until it passes tomorrow. Please be careful.
Oh dear! The brothers' party will have to be delayed for a while. What a shame. Regardless, everyone did as the broadcast instructed and stayed indoors while the inevitable storm was approaching. Holy cow! That storm sure looks intense. What's all this stuff lying around there? Blocks? Interesting. The next day is finally here. And the best part? The storm's gone. Finally. Hey, look who's finally awake! Mario looks like he's got a great amount of sleep last night. Now he's ready to get something to eat, I'm sure. Gee, it's kinda empty in here, isn't it, Mario? Where is everybody? Mario goes to check in every part of the castle he could find, but no one's there. Odd. Surely they could be outside, right? Mario thinks. Oh no! What happened here? The kingdom looks terrible! Mario's shocked. How did he miss this mess? Could Peach have gotten involved in this? This is bad. What am I gonna do? Mario frantically shouts. Huh? What's that? Oh!
Hey!
Cappy? What are you doing here?
Oh, Mario! Thank goodness you're here. I need your help! Again, yours and my home are in danger. I flew over here because a piece of my home Bonneton has disappeared, and I'm trying to find out where it is. Oh, I see. The kingdom does look bad. Well, I might know what's going on. Follow me. You see, Mario, apparently 7 worlds have gone missing in a supposed time rift that occurred during the storm. I'm not sure how it happened or who caused it, but I have a large suspicion that those worlds are in those blocks up there. It's just a hunch, though. And if the princess is missing too, that means she could possibly be in one of them. Speaking of, I found this. I don't know if you're familiar with this thing, but it looks kinda old. I've never seen a flower like this before. But what I do know is that coin matches a hole I saw in one of those blocks. I saw it over in Bonneton. That one right there. See the hole? Go ahead and throw that coin at it. Wow, that kind of looks like the castle down here. That's odd. I wonder why. Well, Cappy, I'm glad you asked. The name of this world is Sacred 64, which, if it wasn't obvious, it's a world made out of the game Super Mario 64, which is also part of... Now, have a look at this world map. As you can see, there are 7 worlds, which is the array of all 7 3D Mario games. Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Mario 3D Land, and Mario 3D World, and Odyssey as well. One thing to keep in mind, all 7 of these worlds are remixed versions of their counterparts. So, each game has been completely remixed into a brand new world, and as such, have different goals. We will go through these worlds individually and semi-explain what each world is involved with. With Sacred 64th, the first world, Mario didn't notice this, but the back of the castle in the actual Mushroom Kingdom has gone missing, which has been turned into a completely new castle that has been made from the Super Mario 64 version. In this castle, or should I say in this world, you'll be going through the castle, through all the paintings, and trying to recover pieces of the missing castle down below. The second one is Summer Sea City, which is from Super Mario Sunshine, in which Isle Delfino, or at least some of it, has been sent underwater, where Mario will have to find a plug or something to get rid of all this water and bring Isle Delfino back to its normal size and its normal height. An obscure observatory, which is Super Mario Galaxy, Rosalina's observatory has been lost in space, and it's up to Mario to find out where it is. In Forgotten Grand Galaxy, which is Super Mario Galaxy 2, the Mario planet has been submerged inside of a galaxy world as well. However, this time, the whole bottom half is missing. It's up to Mario to find the rest of the ship so then it can find its way back to its home. In Left Land of the Leaves, which is Super Mario 3D Land, the toads around the entire Mushroom Kingdom have been turned into stone statues by some odd new enemy using statue leaves, which has been created from the giant Left Land statue. To bring back the toads, you'll have to use a statue leaf, but in order to get the world back to normal and bring back the Tanuki leaves to the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario must help the statue to regain its former self. In Bell Abundance Abandoned, which is made from Super Mario 3D World, Bowser Jr. has found an odd new bell in the middle of a sandy area on the Cat Islands. While the Giga Bell is still around, Bowser Jr. needs to find out exactly what's going on over here. Apparently the Lucky Bell has pieces missing from it, specifically cat-shaped pieces. It's up to Mario and Bowser Jr. to find those pieces back on the bell, but once the pieces have been rejoined, the bell goes flying to some other new world besides the Cat Islands. But finally, is Block Beauty, which is the Mario Odyssey world, which is basically the entire hub world's name. Mario will have to go through his Odyssey adventures once again with Cappy, but there seems to be a special new world behind it all. But we'll get to that in a minute. In each world, you can run, jump, and discover secrets on the world maps of each and every one you explore, which are open roam areas that can be navigated in first, second, and third person view. Think of Super Mario Odyssey, but as a world map. There are holes, crevices, caves, pipes, whatever you can think of, and more throughout each world that can hold enemies, items, and rewards that are specific to each game title, so explore to your heart's content. There are also certain mechanics in each world, but if one level or multiple levels are remixed, you could get another move set opposite from the game in question. It's pretty much a brand new version of each title. For example, you could have a Mario Galaxy moveset in a certain level, but in Mario Odyssey instead. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, without further ado, let's move on to every world has levels that you're familiar with, but with a remix twist. Sometimes the remix makes it almost unrecognizable. It could be enemies, items, or the level itself. It's sort of like a wonder event. Let's show you some of the levels that you can endure in. In Super Mario 64, or Sacred 64th, you'll go through a game called Chomp Roll Charge, which is like Mario Galaxy with the ball challenges, but instead, of course, it's a chain chomp, which, mind you, could also add an extra challenge, such as the chain chomp biting you. You can roll around different levels such as Bob-omb Battlefield, and, well, some other places you may not be familiar with. Now, the goals can differentiate depending on certain levels, such as red star coin collections, or just a regular superstar. In the Super Mario Sunshine world, you'll go through a level called Goomba Giant Grief, where you'll defeat a giant Goomba that has been possessed by ink and will attack you as a boss battle. You'll use special power-ups that we'll also explain later. In Mario Galaxy, you'll go through a level called Grand Star Guess Game. In this game, you have to guess which Grand Star is the right one. This could be during a boss battle, or just a regular level. You never know. And you might even have a second challenge after. But be careful, don't pick the wrong one, or you'll be in big danger. In Mario Galaxy 2, you'll go through a level called Gusty Sand Sway. In this level, Typhoos from Super Mario 3D World have apparently taken over. Use a cloud power-up to walk on certain platforms that Typhoos create, along with floating cactuses and a few other challenges along the way. In Sweet Stack Victory, which is from Super Mario 3D Land, in a way, you can think of a super familiar platformer where you'll jump on multiple platforms that go higher and higher until you reach a star coin, or multiple star coins. In Super Mario 3D World, you'll go through a level called Super Bell Bound, where you'll be attacked by a flurry of Super Bells, kind of similar to the fuzzy attack that you see in the game. Except, this time, you have to avoid the Super Bells at all costs. If you get turned into a cat, it's game over. In Garden Climb Calamity in Super Mario Odyssey, you'll go through different vines, beanstalks, and quite a few other things in an anti-gravity sort of way. You'll climb through certain branches, trees, and other things as well, and avoid enemies that are floating in the sky or below. You'll also have different challenges on certain platforms in a side-scrolling adventure to throw pots, plants, and other things as you continue throughout the level. Now, what about the blocks? The blocks created by that storm are scattered around every map and can contain anything, which, depending on the size, yes, the size, the reward could be great or even a dud. It could even be a boss. You never know until you hit it. The results are endless. Now, before we get on to the items, movesets, and other things as well, let's talk about the villain. This is Queen Boroku, the culprit behind the block storm. She caused this time rift due to an imminent jealousy of Princess Peach, or so she says. She wants the entire world to herself and to make everything into blocks. She will stop at nothing to make her dreams come true. Speaking of which, let's talk about the brand new world in the Super Mario Odyssey world, Block Beauty. This is the Cake Kingdom, the home of Queen Boroku. She has a big obsession with sweets, hence the creation of this new kingdom. Explore this extensive new world and get all the sweetest deals that this kingdom has to offer, from tiramisu blocks that could house a special moon, to chocolatey, citrus-filled, and other delectable cities throughout the kingdom, which are shown in this concept sketch of the world map along with the loyal subjects you could see throughout the way. You can also look at these special new pictures that are created just for this occasion. In this picture, you'll go through a special world where Mario starts his adventure off at, which funny enough, starts at the Luncheon Kingdom. In this picture, you'll use Cappy to become Yoshi and collect cookies, fruits, and much more sugary sweets, which could get you a special reward in Cookie Land. And one of the special cities in the Cake Kingdom, Patisserie Precinct. You'll traverse through the special French dessert area, looking at special trees, and you could also acquire a Fire Mario suit, which actually has special effects. And in Cake Town, which is basically the main hub before the kingdom, you can run through and find the tiramisu block that I was talking about, and quite a bit more of cakey deliciousness. If you would like a further analysis and explanation of this kingdom, we can release that if you'd like. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the... In each game, there are characters you cannot play in other titles unless they're remixed to do so. The character list shows as follows. Super Mario 64 is Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi, which follows the version of the DS. Super Mario Sunshine is Mario and Luigi. Both Super Mario Galaxies is Mario, Luigi, and even Yoshi. In Super Mario 3D Land, Mario, Luigi, and Toad are playable. In Super Mario 3D World, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and Rosalina are playable characters. And in Odyssey, Mario, Luigi, Bowser, or even just Cappy, or Mario by himself in some stages. However, there are also 3 new characters that I'd like to introduce: Pauline, Waluigi, and Daisy, which, as you can see for Pauline, she has a brand new super overall suit. But so does Daisy, but we'll show that at the end. Pauline will be playable in Odyssey. Also, Waluigi will be playable in Mario 3D World and Mario 64. Daisy is the strongest, and she'll need it in Super Mario 3D World. Now, let's move on to the items. In each world, there are different items that you can collect, respective to their, obviously, original games. In Super Mario 64, you'll have 5 items, with 1 returning and a brand new one as well. You can use the metal cap, which Mario, Luigi, and Wario can only use, where metal spikes can come out when you ground pound, and you can use a brand new rush attack that knocks up enemies and metal blocks. With the Super Leaf, Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi can fly and float in the air. With the P-Balloon that only Mario, Luigi, and Wario can use, can inflate the character and you can move around just like a balloon. With the Fire Flower that can only be used by Yoshi, you're able to breathe fire and blow it around. With the Power Flower, which was from the DS version, it'll randomize whatever item you get, and it's an all-around usable item. In Super Mario Sunshine, you'll get a giant jug, which is a brand new item which makes FLUDD supersized, which means much more power. With the Super Blast Jet setting, or the Dare, jet setting. You can blast through and over anything with powerful jets, much more powerful than the regular jet setting. And the Super Shadow Brush, which will turn Mario or Luigi into Beacon Mario or Luigi and create creatures and platforms you can also slip on using the paint like a slide. Also, another item that's usable is called the Solar Shine, which creates launchable light balls and creates solar flares, which can be used in certain levels. In Super Mario Galaxy, you can use the Universe Spring Mushroom, which is basically the spring mushroom, but you can jump to soar through the air like a missile. The Hornet Mushroom, which is an upgraded version of the Bee Mushroom, where you can spin while throwing spikes, and you can use spin or stinging attacks when flying. And finally, the new upgraded version of the Frost Flower, basically the Ice Flower, but crazier, where you can make intense rush attacks and avalanches while skating or stationary. In Super Mario Galaxy 2, you can use the Dino Egg, which makes Yoshi into the dino he was meant to be, and the Storm Cloud Flower, which can create storm clouds that shoot lightning below, and can spin with lightning around you. In Super Mario 3D Land, the Stone Leaf has gotten an upgrade. When you swing your tail, it turns into stone and can break stone blocks made for this power-up, aka toad statues, and other things as well. Also, a special new detail is when you do a crouch jump, which makes you go higher up in the air, Mario will use his tail to propel himself. He can also do this with the Tanuki Leaf. And the Super Rang Flower, which can allow Mario or Luigi or Toad to throw 2 boomerangs at once or 1 large boomerang with a charged attack. In Super Mario 3D World, the Super Hammer makes a grand return from Super Mario Maker 2. You can break objects and use boxes to walk on. With the new Crunch Chomp mask, you can grapple onto walls and hold on for 5 seconds. You can chomp and eat on or at enemies. It's mostly utilized in food settings, like the Cakewalk level. And finally, the Quad Cherry, which creates not 2 of you, but now 4 of you. Let's move on to the next part of the items, which is the ultimate item. Say hello to the 3D Amulet, which creates a special power-up specific to what game you play. In Super Mario 64, you can use the Mega Mushroom. In Super Mario Sunshine, it'll be the Solar Shine Flash or the Solar Shine. In Super Mario Galaxy, it's the Universe Spring Mushroom or the Frost Flower. In Super Mario Galaxy 2, it's Dino Yoshi. In Super Mario 3D Land, it's Pixel Mario, which is a brand new power-up that makes Pixel Mario able to throw giant 8-bit items, which have specific settings that can be used for their attacks. With the mushroom, he can knock out enemies with the objects. With the Fire Flower, it burns items. The leaf can swing at enemies, and can swing Mario into the air as well. The question mark block rises in the air and crushes things like a thwomp. You can walk and jump on these items like platforms, and you can throw the items in any direction, even from above. When an attack move comes in contact with an enemy, it turns them into pixel shards that can be collected to do a special final move. This special final move is all of the items being thrown at once, or an item float. In Super Mario 3D World, the Giga Bell and the Grand Lucky Bell are 2 of the items you can use, which, if you don't know how to use the Lucky Bell, it's basically the Lucky Bell from Super Mario 3D World, but bigger. And in Super Mario Odyssey, you can turn into Bowser. But there's also a special move you can use that is called the Sugar Spin, which is specific to the Cake Kingdom, which creates Baker Mario, which is a brand new costume. And when he collects a 3D amulet, he uses Sugar Spin, where he can spin on 1 of 3 sugary items, and can basically run over enemies. One thing also Baker Mario can use by throwing Cappy on it is an icing cannon, where you can trap enemies in icing and then jump on them. Here's another costume that he can also wear, which is Brownie Suit Mario, which is part of a city in the Cake Kingdom. Another perk of these games is that you can use a backup item, and you can unlock a second slot later on in the game, where you can hold an item for other worlds. However, only regular items can be used. Now, let's get into the movesets. While there are only a few new ones, we also have returning ones as well. Here are the new and returning movesets besides the defaults pertaining to each game title. Mario being able to perform backflips like in Super Mario 64, which can now warrant a higher wall jump if calculated correctly. Next is the charge run. With this move, Mario can jump up by running in place, and right after, you can hit the Y button to run, and you will immediately go into a full sprint. Next is the mid-spin jump. When you jump, you can quickly spin in mid-air to get to a further area. And finally, a newer move is the cartwheel. You'll be able to do 1 cartwheel at a time to pick up speed. However, if you're in a level with boost panels, be careful. Each move can and could be specific to certain levels if warranted. Now, let's move on to the bigger parts of the menu. you'll see 3 other parts. So let's go over those. The first one we'll go over is multiplayer. Play co-op to beat story mode together. 2 or more is always better than 1. In multiplayer, when one of your comrades gets hit, you can save them by popping a bubble when they respawn, just like in previous games. A brand new move has also been added called the dual roll, where you and a friend can roll together and catch some serious distance when you do a long jump. While multiplayer is pretty simple, let's move on to the next tab, which has way more. The next mode we're going into is versus mode. In versus mode, you can go against CPUs or your friends to beat courses that come from previous games, but they've been remixed. All the games we talked about in previous story mode, and also some others included, can be played in versus mode, with over 80 different ones to choose from, which can have specific goals that you can choose in versus mode, such as coin limits, time limits, number of lives, and more. So play as many as you want with a custom amount of rounds, and with randomized generation of different games and also objectives, there's always a new way to play. Now, let's move on to arcade mode. There are 3 different games to play, and in each game, there are certain game titles that you'll be able to play in. First off is Coin Rush. In Coin Rush, there are coins scattered all around one of 6 custom stages, all with different obstacles and secrets. Collect enough coins in a stage per person and a toe-to-toe competition to spawn a star coin. Collect one as fast as you can before anyone else. Whoever collects the most wins. Secondly is Shine Thief Sprint. In Shine Thief Sprint, a flurry of shine sprites have been stolen by Shadow Mario on Isle Delfino. One of you will have to take them back. You'll chase Shadow Mario throughout the island, and when you catch him, you can shoot him with a custom flood pack to steal back the shine. In this mode, you can also adjust Shadow Mario's speed and the number of shadows to take the shines from. And finally is Flag Catch. In Flag Catch, the rules are simple. Catch the flag before anyone else to win. You'll go through select 3D Mario levels and can see who's the fastest. You can set how many flags you want to catch, including a checkpoint flag or 2 for a tiebreaker, to make sure who the closest is to reaching the goal. A crown is set on the player's head. Another thing to add is that in every arcade game, there will be items you can find catered to each specific game title from the story mode, even the special ones. So have fun! Now let's move on to a more special thing in versus mode. The Mystery Mansion is a collection of all the mystery houses from Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World. As usual, these levels are remixed and have new ones added in. There might even be some challenges from Mario Odyssey. You can select them separately in versus mode and add rounds. Each level is separated by this sound, and the song gets faster as the rounds progress. Once again, you can adjust how many rounds you want, how many items you want to collect, and way more other limitations. From fun with Cappy to way more extreme, super awesome adventures. There's so much to explore in Super Mario 3D Mix. With so much selection, we're sure that you're going to love what you play. Will Mario and Cappy be able to save the Mushroom Kingdom and all the other places that have gone missing? Find out in Super Mario 3D Mix when it releases very soon on Nintendo Switch systems. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you couldn't tell, this video was a lot of work, effort, and time put together. If you watched this to the end, I really do appreciate y'all. I would love for this to be a fantastic idea that really I believe should come to life. Like, I love the 3D Mario games, and I honestly think that this will be really fun. I've always wanted to make a game like this, or I've always wanted a game like this to exist in the Nintendo franchise, so I just felt like I needed to make a concept out of it. Obviously, I only drew pictures and stuff like that, but hopefully y'all enjoyed watching or looking at the pictures. Those took a lot of time for me to make, so hopefully y'all liked them. And obviously I also drew the picture that you're seeing on the screen right now of Mario and Luigi's party. Hopefully this video won't flop and at least get some attention on it, because I feel like I worked really hard on this and I just really want people to see it. So if you like what you saw, please give it a like, comment on the video, and share, along with subscribing to the channel. I do a variety of content, and this has been my biggest project lately, so I hope you stay tuned for more to come. And if there's anything that you would like for me to explain from the video, like the Cake Kingdom or the bosses or anything, like, I can of course do that. I would love to. So just comment down below if you want to see that. I will also have a couple of songs that I made for the OST, so be on the lookout for those when they upload. That being said, I love all of you that have watched this video, even if you don't know me, and I will see all of you beautiful people in the next video. Goodbye!